What's up guys, and welcome back to another video for me again today. And today is yet another settings video for Project Cars, but this one will probably be the most important one for wheel users. This is all to do with the force feedback. Now, as you know, being a wheel user, there are an immense amount of settings for force feedback, but I'm going to show you mine. This is for the Renault Clio Cup, and the track I'm using is Donington National. But we'll get to that in a minute anyway. So as you know, on the main menu there's all the settings for the force feedback. I've gone over that in my wheel settings updated video, so if you haven't seen that, go and watch that first. Once you have set those main settings ones, it's very important that you don't change them. Leave them as they are, that's it, you don't need to touch them again. Also, for this, I'm not going to take full credit for this video because the person that actually brought this to an attention was Cormorth. I'll put the link in the description for his video that he's done on this as well. So if you guys want to get more info on that, click on that, have a look at it, leave him a like, because it's made my enjoyment in the game a lot more, and hopefully your enjoyment too. My subscriber base is slightly bigger, so that's why I'm doing this video. I'm not trying to steal his thunder or anything, so just head over there, make sure you watch his video as well, and press the like button. So once you've got all your force feedback settings set up in the main settings, and you come into your pit box, this is where you just before you start the race or start practice or start qualifying or whatever. So you can go into the edit tuning option. So as you know, if you press the right trigger or the throttle as it is on the wheel, you get all the tuning options. Now you don't have to worry about too much about that to start off with. I'm still trying to work all that out myself, and I'll do another video on that when it comes to it. But if you press the RB, it puts you on force feedback, and you'll see the screen that I've gone over in previous videos before. But I'll go over these what they are now. So the FX scale is to do with acceleration and deceleration. So the higher you have that, the more force feedback you get when you're accelerating and braking. FY scale is to do with cornering, so that's left to right, that's turning. Again, the higher you have that, the more feedback you get. The lower it is, the less feedback you'll get. FZ scale is the horizontal movements. That's when you're going over bumps and over rumble strips. Same applies, right more, left less. MZ scale. Now MZ scale is what it represents to when you get understeering the car, how the steering wheel goes light. So obviously the higher you have that, the more that effect will take into place. These smoothing ones are just to make it feel a bit more smooth on the wheel. I usually have 10, 10, 10, 10. That works for me pretty well. You might have it slightly different, but that's how I like it. Arm angle. So when you're driving, if you feel like there's little force feedback in the centre of the wheel, so it feels like there's no force feedback at all, if you drop that down towards the left, so move it towards low, it'll put a bit more force feedback in that zone. If you move it to the right, it'll extend it a bit more, so you'll have a lot more play in the wheel. So there's the ones I've gone over before, but the important part, the bit I never even realised was there, the bit that Mr. Cormorth brought to my attention, was if you're on that screen and you press the right trigger, or the throttle, you get another set of options, even more settings for force feedback. But these are probably more important than the other ones. So the body longitudinal scale, it says here, will only affect force feedback based on lateral G's. At higher values, longitudinal, it's a big word, G's will scale the effect. So basically, lateral is left to right, I believe. Longitudinal is up and down, forward and back. So this affects how much force feedback you get, again, during braking and acceleration for the body. It's very, very confusing, but trust me, once you play with these settings and you give them a go, the car will feel so much better. If you're experiencing light feedback in the wheel, then you need to set the time aside to go through these and test these out, because it will improve the game 150% for you. Body stiffness. Just trying to read where it is on there. The driver's body is simulated similar to a Springer damper mass system. Body stiffness and body damping in effect therefore set the nature of this virtual spring. So I'm not sure if that's the body of the car or the body of the driver, but I found that when I increased these to 78 and 58, when I took it on track, it felt a lot better. So improving these are all set down very, very low to start off with. So I've increased them, that one 42, that one 78, that one 58. And again, the body scale, that's like the master volume switch. So if you turn that up to right, then it'll affect these three as well. So think of that like the volume scale, and that's all the individual tuning ones. SOP scale, it says here, SOP is a force feedback effect focused on more on what is happening at the rear of the car. So this is very helpful for this Clio, because sometimes you get a lot of lift off oversteer, you lose the back end, and with the stock settings you have no input in the wheel whatsoever. This helps with that quite a lot. I've never been in a game where there's been this amount of tuning options for force feedback, and the fact that you got to do it for every car on every track is probably a little bit too much. But if you want the most out of the game, then you need to do it. So the lateral scale, it says here, the lateral scale determines the magnitude of the side load component, while SOP differential scale governs the difference in vertical loads. So the back ends, the single the back end of the car, if you want to feel more what's happening in the back end, increase that. Increase the lateral scale up. If you want to feel less, obviously move it to the left. Differential scale, that's if you want to feel what's happening in the back end of the car during accelerating and braking. So I've got mine quite high now, 110. I'm still tweaking these settings, but I've took the car out briefly and it feels pretty good. And again, the damping is just the overall damping effect of that. I've got that on 30, which may be a little bit too high. Well, practice with that, moving it down and up a little bit, see what goes on. But for you guys that didn't know this option was even here, like I didn't, when you're on the force feedback option, just click the accelerator or the right trigger, and you get a host of new options. Now what I'd say is go and don't change anything on the Clio and Donington, make sure it's all stock, take it out for a run, and then copy my settings, stick them on your car, and you should be able to instantly see, 1, the extra feedback on the wheel, and 2, it feels a damn sight better. Again, I'm going to say I'm not going to take credit for this, because Cornwall brought it to my attention, so make sure you do check his channel and give him a like and support him, because he does like his racing games, and he is a damn good channel that's growing. So make sure you just head over there and hit him up a like and leave him a comment as well, let him know I sent you. But yeah, give these a go, guys, and hopefully it should help you out and improve your enjoyment of the game, and try and share this with as many people as possible, because a lot of people having problems with force feedback settings and all the other things. So hopefully this will help a lot for you guys as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I hope it helps you out loads. I hope you're enjoying Project Cars. I'm going to be doing a review really soon. Obviously, I want to try and get everything set up and play the game a little bit soon, first before I do a proper review and opinion video. But until then, I'll see you all soon.